All right, hey there. For today's tutorial, I'm going to take you through a couple of different exercises that is going to facilitate muscular activation, specifically of the anterior chain, so the front body. And then the other idea using these tools is going to be to create a relaxation response. So I want your spine to be relaxed, I want your nervous system to be relaxed, and then we're going to get more out of our body, okay? So I have a simple setup, something you can do at home. I have a mat just because the hard floor is uncomfortable. I have a yoga block and I have one of these big Vizio balls. Okay, so this is a sequence. Feel free to watch as much of this video or as little as you'd like. Again, the main purpose is for you to strengthen the spaces from your knee to your shoulder. Okay, this series is really going to emphasize three things. It's going to be your DCG, or your diaphragm, core, and glutes. Okay, so you got to remember we have a glute of the hip, which is your glute max, and then we have a glute of the shoulder, which is going to be your pec, and then the core is going to represent everything from the kneecaps to your shoulders. All right, and then lastly, your diaphragm. We're going to be talking about the respiratory diaphragm, which lives in the top upper half of your rib cage, or bottom half of your rib cage, and then the pelvic diaphragm, which is going to be the pelvic floor muscles of the lower extremities. Okay, so the idea is to make the two cavities kind of move together while at the same time creating activation, motion, and good oxygenated blood flow to the rest of the body. Okay, so all I'm going to do to start, I'm going to lay on my back, come to a popular 90-90 position. All right, so my hips are down. All right, and this is where I need to be. Simple as that. Now, you put your feet on the wall. You'll be at about 90 degrees. I want you to take the block the medium wide way, put it between your thighs, and you just hold. So first thing I want you to do is start to find your breath, okay? So when you breathe in, can you make your stomach expand? And when you breathe out, can you pull it down? All right, so do this about 4 to 8 times. Now, because we're limited with the video, I'm going to be doing things 4 reps, okay? Now, after you've warmed your diaphragm up a bit, I want you to add a little bit of lower body engagement. So when I breathe in, I'm going to push into the wall, squeeze on the block, and pull down with my heels. So I breathe in, and then on an exhale, I let go of that tension. Okay, so again, I breathe in, and I breathe out. Okay, I'm going to take my arms up. I want you to get your shoulder blades off the ground, and then feel what it's like to put them on the ground. And when they're flat against the floor, you want to make sure that you're not pulling them down, but instead that they're just flat. They're kind of laying there, okay? Now only pick up your heels, so balls of the feet are pushing. On an inhale, I want you to take your arms back, breathe in, and exhale, come forwards. Again, breathe in, and you can breathe out. You can even take your hands all the way by your pockets. All right, my heels are still up, so I'm trying to get a little bit of calf recruitment. All right, and then the heels can come down. I'm going to push into my hands. All I want you to do, hover your feet off the wall and pause. Now the main objective here is to flatten your low back. Okay, so you're allowed to go into a slight posterior tilt, which is a tuck of the tail, but I want you to be sure that you can really draw your navel down at the same time. I'm pushing into my hands to engage my lat. I take a couple breaths. All right, then I'm going to put my feet back to the wall. Now I'm going to grab the Vizio ball. I take it up. So now I've added resistance, pressing through my legs. Take an inhale, take the ball back, exhale forwards. Okay, and I'm pressing through my ankle because I want the ball and my shoulders to represent an extension of my legs and hips. All right, maybe I'll do one more. I pause there. Now I'm going to start to squeeze this ball with my palms, float your feet up again, and hold. So I'm squeezing my palms on the ball, I'm bracing my inner thighs on the block, and my low back is flat. And I take big breaths. Can you still get your low belly to kind of expand up? All right, you're going to put your feet against the wall. Okay, take your hands back, take them forwards. Good. Put your feet on the floor. Put the ball in your thighs. And now all I want you to do is push on that ball as hard as you can. Okay, a couple of breaths. Still finding that flatness of the low back on the mat. All right, something you can try. Put the ball on your right thigh and just gently push your right knee into the ball so the foot comes up. Keep breathing. You bring the foot down, take the ball to your left thigh, push into your knee. Good, and you bring it down. All right, ball stays here. Pick the legs up to 90-90. Okay, 2 to 8 reps. Breathe in, breathe out. So I'm trying to get the side of my body to lengthen and stretch away from my hips. Good. Feet go to the wall. I'm going to put that Visio away for a moment. All right, I take the block out. Now I'm going to reach my right leg up. Okay, now you can mobilize your ankle a little bit here, just move it around. Sometimes that feels good. I'm more interested in heading in towards hip extension. So on a breath in, my heel touches the wall. On a breath out, it comes right back up to 90 degrees. Okay, variations of this include both arms up. When the leg goes forward, both arms go back. Okay, maybe you just do your left arm. Okay, maybe you lift your hips a little bit off the floor, so now my left leg is working, and then right leg goes forward, left arm goes backward. Okay, any one of these variations is fine. Eventually you'll bring your right foot to the wall, extend your left leg up, and then whatever you did on that first side, do the same thing on the second side. Hips might be up. Arms might move also. Maybe it's only the opposite arm. I could even take that Visio ball in between my hands and do the same motion by adding some upper body resistance. It's not too important what you do. It's just that you do something that replicates this somewhat. Okay, I'm going to grab my knees in. Okay, then 2 times I'm going to start to curl in and curl out. Okay, so I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. All right, great. My feet come flat. I'm going to put that block back between my legs, flatten my hands, pick up to 90 degrees. Now all I want you to do is just side to side with the legs. That's it. Okay, low back is flat, and what you'll notice is you're rocking from one side of your pelvis to the other. Okay, rib cage and shoulder blades stay fixated, and it's only the pelvis and lower body that's moving. All right, you bring your feet down, take that block out. You're going to lift your hips up. Okay, I want you to put the block the lowest way underneath your sacrum. Relax for a moment. Okay, as long as you feel supported, pick your legs up. Okay, and you just hold. You know, maybe you do some ankle circles. Okay, you want to try and keep your knee as straight as possible. You might do some corkscrews, which is when you actually wrap thighs in and out. Okay, you might do small hip circles as well. Okay, you start with about tennis ball size and you try to get as big as that Visio ball. Okay. All right, nice one for your transverse abdominis. You put your left foot down on the floor, both hands on your right knee, and then just start to push that knee into both hands. Nice. Take a couple of breaths. You want to feel like the right side of your abs are contracting a little bit. Then you'll change sides. Legs go up. You might interlace your hands behind your head. And then here we go with a bicycle. So forward bicycle, I might do 20 reps, might do 50 reps. It's not about how fast I go. It's more about this linear fluid motion from the hip, knee, ankle. Eventually I go backwards. Okay. Now, I might start to take my knees wide, put my forearms and elbows inside my knees, flex my ankles, push your legs on your arms. Try to take 4 to 8 breaths. Okay, I'm going to bring my feet down, remove that block. I'm going to get the Visio ball again. All right, this is one of my favorites now. So I'm going to pick my legs up. My back feels pretty flat against the floor. I'm going to put the ball between my shins. And now I'm going to hold. Okay, my arms are up. And I am trying to pop this ball with all my strength in my inner thighs. Okay, so I'm breathing. I'm thinking tail under a little bit, but really abdomen down. You want your sacrum to be broad and flat on the floor. Okay? And then if you're keeping your belly close to your spine, you want to try and breathe into your ribs to expand the thoracic cavity. Good. And what I might even do, I might just pass the ball back and forth a couple of times. Okay, it goes back between my shins. I continue to squeeze the ball. 4 to 8 breaths. Take my knees, feet down, take them as wide as the mat, pick your hips up about an inch, hold that ball, then just let your knees go side to side, but your butt is off the floor. All right, now I'm going to shrimp back a little bit, okay, and I come to a 90-90, knees on the ball, hands on the ball, flex my ankles, and I'm pushing. You might stay here. You might just take one arm back. Okay, you might take one arm and the opposite leg forward and back. Now the most important thing is that knee pushing into the ball. Okay, another common fault is going to be the leg that's on the ball, the foot will drop. I want you to keep it up. Ooh, that's tough. Okay, bring my feet down, take the ball up, just take a breath, maybe even reach back. Still encouraging fresh air, new oxygen into my side ribs. All right, we're going to put that ball away. And now we're going to do a rock and roll. Okay, so no thudding allowed. I'm going to go forwards and backwards. 10 to 15 times. Okay, eventually you come up sitting tall. You're going to feel like you're rounding a bit. That's fine. I want you to reach forward, lean forward. The goal is to keep pressure in your feet. Okay, and you can start to roll down as slowly as possible. Alright, then I'm going to roll up again. I'll show you another variation. I can put my feet on the wall. Same thing. I try to sit up, and then I'm going to put my spine into flexion as I roll, 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 all the way down. Reach my legs up. Go ahead and just sway my legs side to side a bit. So by now, your entire anterior core ought to be feeling pretty good. Spine, you want it to be feeling longer, a little bit more relaxed. Like it can move a bit more freely. And again, you'll notice that every single repetition I did got a full breath. Okay, so my diaphragm just went through I mean, I don't even know. I shortened the video down, but it probably went through about 75 to 100 breaths just in the demo. So when you're doing it on your own with the, anywhere from the 4 to 8 reps and the proper warm-up, you might be taking yourself between 150 and 200 reps. Okay, so that diaphragm is getting a lot of good movement up through the thorax and down into the abdominal cavity. And at the same time, we're helping to stimulate the pelvic diaphragm, which is going to be that pelvic floor region, all right? Again, I recommend trying to keep your parasympathetic nervous system at bay for as long as you can while you're doing this. If you start gripping in your jaw, tensing up unnecessarily, or holding your breath, you have to dial it back and regress the exercise, because it's really important that we're not building unnecessary tension. The associating intentional, smart, necessary tension is what we want for the body to then take pressure off of the joints and decompress the spine. But it's when we start pushing ourselves too hard that things go a little haywire. Okay, so you have to remember that the journey with your body, it's a very individual one. Like, you're not out to prove yourself to anybody else. You're looking for improved functioning, healthy, sustainable body. That's what you want. You want your bones to do what they evolved to be able to do. You want to feel good in your movement. And a lot of that starts with, again, those principles of strengthening the relationships of the DCG, so diaphragm, core, glutes. I don't go into the muscles because it starts to get down this deep rabbit hole of is this muscle part of the core? And it's like, yeah, the muscle in the plantar fascia of the foot is related to the quad or the transverse abdominis or the diaphragm. But for now, this is foundations, this is fundamental. You can do this every day and absolutely reap some sort of positive benefit in your body, and it's going to help develop what's called the inner spring system, which is the anti-gravity system of the body that's going to help assist in taking pressure off of the joints and learning to load your body more efficiently in the longitudinal plane, so like the vertical axis through your body. So please give this a try. I know I went through it a little quickly, but again, that's for the sake of time. Practice this as much as you can. Again, you don't need a gym, you don't need anything fancy. I don't like to really call this yoga. This is just warming up the core. This is getting the spine a little bit longer, and again, trying to stimulate that parasympathetic activation with a little bit of the autonomic nervous system and fight or flight nervous system at the same time. So let me know what you think. Give it a try for yourself, and thank you.